You tell yourself you'll stop eating junk food, quit smoking, turn off TikTok, and start building the life you actually want. You promise you'll eat clean, go to the gym, start that business, become the version of yourself you know is possible. And yet every time you make progress, you fall straight back into the comfortable habits, and the guilt hits. You start to think, is there something wrong with me? But what if I told you it's not necessarily your fault that you can't keep the momentum going? What if I told you it's kind of a miracle that you achieve anything long-term at all? So let me explain. For almost all of human history, our ancestors lived in a world where death was only ever really a few seconds away. Every day was about survival, not productivity, not self-improvement, and certainly not long-term goals. And the only goals that actually mattered were the ones that kept you alive today. Not in 12 months, not in 6 months, today. So evolution shaped a brain that was obsessed with the present moment. So scanning for threats, preserving your energy and chasing comfort, literally grabbing any opportunity that might help you see tomorrow. The ancient machinery that let us do this is something called the limbic system. Now this is fast, impulsive, emotional, and addicted to instant reward. Every time you did something good for survival, so finding food, avoiding danger, or connecting with your tribe, your brain rewarded you with dopamine. Dopamine wasn't designed to make you happy, it was designed to keep you alive. Like a parent giving a child a sweet for behaving well, you do the right thing, your brain rewards you, and of course, you're more likely to repeat that behaviour again. Back then, that system kept us alive. But now, that system keeps you scrolling. Fast forward to today, we no longer fear predators or starvation. Our environment completely changed, but our brains did not. We no longer hunt for food, we have Uber Eats. We no longer sleep in trees because we have central heating. We no longer fear predators, we fear notifications and deadlines at work. The world changed, but the survival machinery within your skull is still millions of years old. The ancient part of your brain still thinks survival is urgent and that instant gratification is valuable. The problem is, the instant rewards in the modern world aren't actually survival behaviours, but your brain can't tell the difference. So when you choose between building your business or watching Netflix, your brain's not thinking which one of these is going to make my future better, it's thinking which one of these is going to make me feel good here and now. Your limbic system will always win. And that's not because you're lazy, it's just because you're human. And here is where it starts to get darker. Because unfortunately, the modern world has weaponized your biology against you. Everything that was once scarce, such as sugar, stimulation, novelty and social approval, now is unlimited and it's also artificially enhanced. And also the companies selling these things, they literally hire neuroscientists and psychologists to make you as addicted as possible to the thing they're trying to sell you. For example, social media has been designed to literally simulate tribal validation. Every like, follow and retweet signals to your brain that your tribe are telling you you belong, you're safe, you're protected. Junk food was developed and mass-produced. High-calorie food was rare for our ancestors, so the times when they did see it, their brain would obviously tell them to binge because they never knew when their next meal was actually going to be. And now we live in cities where McDonald's are literally every mile, but we still have that ancient brain. Your ancestors didn't have Big Macs, they had berries twice a year. We have pornography, this hijacks your mating drive, you get the dopamine of reproduction, but no intimacy, no bonding or no real connection. A 13-year-old boy today can see more naked bodies in an hour than ancient kings saw in a whole lifetime. Our brain just isn't built to be able to handle this stuff. We have TV and streaming. It recognises the warm flickering light as comfort around a fire. The voices from the sound speaker replicate your tribal members speaking around you, and a comfortable sofa replicates good shelter away from predators. Your brain thinks Netflix means I'm safe, my tribe are here. We now have infinite scrolling, where every swipe brings you novelty. Now novelty used to mean opportunity or danger. It could be a new predator, it could be a new tribe, it could be another mating opportunity. Your brain evolved to constantly scan for new cues. So now that social media gives you infinite novelty, your survival circuitry will lock you into the scroll. We have drugs and alcohol that don't just stimulate dopamine, they detonate it. We have natural rewards like sex and food, which can double your dopamine to around 200%. But then we have certain drugs like crystal meth, which can literally skyrocket your dopamine to around 1,250%. People often ask, why don't addicts just stop? It's because the ancient part of your brain thinks that doing that drug is 12 times more important for your survival than eating food or having sex. So it's like good luck fighting that with willpower alone. So here's the truth which is difficult to hear. We're living in a world that's offering us unlimited shortcuts to dopamine, but there's no real survival benefits behind the dopamine but it was meant to reinforce in the first place. In the past, comfort meant warmth and tribe, sweetness meant calories, and sex meant bonding and reproduction. All of these are meaningful, all of these are grounding. Today, comfort means Netflix, sweetness is processed chemicals, sex is pixels. Your brain is following instincts that no longer lead anywhere. And the people who profit from this know exactly what they're doing. A society of disciplined, mentally strong, resilient individuals is hard to control. A society addicted to instant gratification, on the other hand, is not. So how do we fight back? So we can't overpower biology, we must learn how to work with it. We need to learn to reduce cheap dopamine. Instant gratification causes massive spikes followed by massive crashes. These crashes, known as a hangover state, is where then your brain starts craving more cheap dopamine just to get back to normal again. You need to reduce these hits so your dopamine stabilizes over time. Yes, this is going to be hard in the short term, but over the long term, it will definitely lead to more satisfaction. So how do we do this? We have to turn off notifications, remove junk food from our house, leave your phone in another room whilst you work, block or delete the apps that hijack you. We have to add friction to make the bad habits hard to engage in. We have to make cheap dopamine hard to get. We have to force barriers between you and the activity. We have to make scrolling inconvenient and binging effortful. The limbic system hates effort. If the reward isn't instant, the craving starts to fade, so effort breaks the loop. We need to replace cheap dopamine with real dopamine. So don't think of this as dopamine fasting, think of it as dopamine redirecting. We have to live more like our ancestors and stop scrolling for walking, drugs and drink for exercise, TV for creativity, porn for real intimacy, staying inside to going outside and getting sunlight. Your brain learns by doing, not by thinking about doing. Try one small change this week, add another next week, momentum starts to compound. If you want to feel different, you must live different. Most people are stuck. Most people chase shortcuts instead of meaning. If you want a different life, you can't follow the crowd. Your brain isn't broken, it's ancient, and the world evolved faster than you did. But once you understand the mismatch, once you see how the modern world hijacks your biology, you can start then to take back control. If you want to learn to live in alignment with the brain you actually have, hit subscribe and join the journey.